welcome back to Topper Machine. I'm Josh Topper. So today's job is some more of these trunnion wheels we got to turn. And I just picked these up. The drive back, it was rainy and freezing, so there's ice on them. We'll get that melted off and we'll get them up in the lathe. So last time I did this job, I got a lot of comments on the video of how I didn't use the tailstock to help support it. And 90% of the time, the center is destroyed from them using a puller to get the bearing off. Now, the customer does not want me to fix them. They don't want to spend the money to fix them, so instead, I just opted to hold them in the chuck and indicate and just make sure they work right. Well, not this time. We've got a new tool. And the new tool goes in the lathe. It is a revolving tailstock chuck. Now, I recently actually found this on eBay. I didn't have to build it, and I was planning on building one, but to find one for way less money than I was going to spend was definitely a plus. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll reverse the jaws because it won't open big enough to support the shaft, and then we'll go ahead and get the trunnion wheel up into the chuck and we'll get it all set up and we'll start turning. So I'm going to have a bit of a problem here because the design of this chuck doesn't allow me to tighten it all the way. I'm actually hitting up against the nut that's inside of here that whoever made this put together. But the hard jaws stick out too far when I got them the other way, so I run out of scroll. So I'm going to have to go ahead and just open this up and clamp on the inside jaws, and hopefully that works. Alright, let's start it up and just see how it looks. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw an indicator on there and just see what I got, see how it looks, but everything looks pretty decent. I got about 3 thousandths max of run out, and that's actually totally acceptable. So we'll go ahead and set up and start turning. So if you saw the last video, you saw the problem I ran into, and I don't have the clearance of my cross slide to clear that wheel. So what I do is I take a boring bar, flip it upside down, and run it that way. So I'll go grab that and we'll get set up. Now in order to get this to clear, I got to spin my tool post all the way around, spin the boring bar upside down. There's a lot to this. And if you've watched any of my older videos, you saw the video where I actually made this boring bar for the big Monarch when I had that. And it's in the older videos playlist, so if you want to see that, check it out there. Actually, I'm going to have to go this way so my handle don't hit. Just double check all of our clearances because we don't want to have a problem. And there's a clearance issue there. And that might be a clearance issue there too. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn my tool post just a little bit more. Get me a little further away from the rotating chuck jaws back here and make sure I clear everything well. Everything else. I don't want to crash. You know, buy a brand new lathe this year and then crash it right away. It would not be good. And everything clears good right there. I keep knocking my tools over when I lean them up down there. I'll go ahead and set my bar where I want it. And now we have to run the lathe in reverse because the bar is upside down. So an interesting thing about the Lion lathes is reverse runs faster than forward. So this is forward at 125 RPM. And that's reverse. So I think that might be a little fast for what we're doing here. I'll slow it down some more. I think I'm going to drop right down to 63 RPM. There it is. And that should get us slow enough. Okay, let's see where we're at speed-wise, huh? Cocksucker. Okay, let's see where we are. Let's just start it up. That looks like a nice speed. And then we'll bring it over and touch it off. And the thing with these trunnion wheels is we're not taking a lot off. We're just taking a skim cut to true up the running surface. And let's put it in gear and let her cut. Off of where I touched off, and it looks like this might clean up 100%, which would be perfect. This job is just a matter of cleaning it up to run through again, and it looks like we might be there, but we'll see. You can see it, there is a little wobble. I can see the line changing where it's cutting deeper and shallower. And we're not cutting as deep as we were, but I think we're almost out of the really badly wore spot, and we should start getting to where we can clean up 100%. But if not, we'll just take another 10 thousandths to probably do it. There you can hear it, it stopped cutting, so the wear is pretty deep on this side. Like I said, another 10 thou ought to do it. Let her cut. And that should clean that right up. Actually, let me stop it and we'll take a look. You know, another 5 thou might do it. It seems that we actually touched the rust. I can kind of rub it off with my finger. But we're going to take another 10 just to be sure. It looks a little rough right here. That'll probably clean that right up. line where the light is hitting it now, but it looks much more uniform, so we must have had a spot where it was hammering, running the drum. And it looks like we got that mostly out. We'll see when we get right into the rough spot there. Like we're going to clean up 100%. Perfect. Roll this around and take a quick look, but looks like we got her. See, there's a gouge right there, but that's not going to affect anything. That actually the running surface is about here. And we don't have to chamfer it because we didn't cut below the factory chamfers. And there's a lot of wear life on these things, so looks good. I'll get it out of the lathe and get the other one up there. And for sake of argument, I want to see just if we got run out or how bad it really is. If my chuck holds it good or what we got going. So I'm going to throw the indicator up there quick. Good enough. I know where it is. It's like about 5 thousandths. Yeah, about 5 thousandths a run out, which is within the tolerance limit, but let's throw the tailstock chuck on there and just see what that does. So we're still about 5 thou. It really didn't do much for me, but it gives me some stability. So let's go ahead and get this one cutting. This one I can see is worn a little deeper, so I started a little deeper. I went 25 thousandths on my first pass, and we'll just see where that takes us. On the outer edge looks pretty good. We'll see when we get to the middle. So this one finished out a little rougher. I'm guessing this one had a little more wear, some more hammering on it. And I didn't get 100% cleanup again. So that was 25 thousandths on this one. I'm going to go ahead and take another 10, and this one should be good to go. This one had a hard spot in it back on this edge, and I could hear it as it came around. It was kind of hitting. Now I'm out of it, and it seems to be cutting much better. I know my insert was good. I checked it before we started. So these things do get work hardened. It's kind of interesting how they perform over time. All that weight rolling on them, they just kind of harden up. The cast steel ones are even worse. They will actually start cracking out and busting out chunks over time if you don't do a surfacing cut. Yeah, it definitely seems like it's cutting better now that I'm out of that hard spot. And I couldn't be happier with this rotating tailstock chuck that I bought off eBay. Definitely saved me from having to build one, but I might still build a bigger one yet. I can see where this might be a little small for some of the stuff I do. That finish is far more acceptable. Much better. And I couldn't be happier with how my revolving tailstock chuck actually performed. This thing was awesome. For something I found on eBay, just saved me a ton of time. I didn't have to build one, but I probably am still going to build one much larger because I get into some pretty good sized stuff. This just bailed me out this time around. Well, I hope you enjoyed the job I did on these trunnion wheels and using the new revolving tailstock chuck. That's a pretty cool addition to the shop here, and definitely looking forward to using that more. So if you like the channel, like the content, check out the rest of my videos, check out my Store Frontier account. PayPal donations are greatly appreciated. It helps out a lot. A lot goes into these videos, takes a lot of time away from the paying work. So with that, till next time, get out in your shop and get it done right the first time.